Hello, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to my Let's Play of Ys Origin. We last left off taking care of the sand boss in the last dungeon. Just giant plant-like amoeba thing that was pretty annoying, but thankfully with a few levels and, using our fire sword fairly often, we were able to beat him and finally make it past him to save here and move on into the further reaches of this dungeon. And now pretty much we're off to find Lady, I think it's Lady Rhea, or maybe it's Lady Fina. I keep forgetting which one is in need of rescue. And of course finding the Black Pearl as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So usually if I remember right, the level you kind of end up getting to by the end of this game, or the end of this playthrough, I believe should be like level 60 or so. Maybe level 65. That's kind of annoying. So we hit the button and now instead of just being open, it keeps going back and forth like this. So that's, I guess, one way of doing it, huh? And of course I still have a while before I finally unlock the ability I want to get as a blessing. But thankfully I'm not having too much trouble with these new bug praying mantis enemies. I'm just dealing more with these flying bars up and down. I find this a bit creative actually. Like most of the time they just simply have the bars open. But in this case, they make it so that you have to be careful as you go through. So I think that's pretty neat. You know, like as I said, when it comes to games like dungeon crawlers, or just games that really reuse a lot of their level design, it is kind of annoying, but in some cases there's not much you can do, and then in other times it's kind of like why do they, where did most of their effort go and things like that. Okay, let me go this way first. Okay, it looks like there's not much I can do over here other than just beat these enemies. There we go. But yeah, the whirlwind is really, really handy for enemies like this who kind of try to surround you and who are quick and fast to deal with. You know, for the most part, like even though there's only these three elements, which is actually somewhat standard for some of these games. They usually only have 3 of something usually, which I think works out for the most part, because you wouldn't want to overdo it sometimes for some of the games and their abilities. You know, I think what would help is if they could maybe add a few more puzzles that would utilize these elements, but I guess there's only so much they could, incorporate. But like as you've noticed, there are some enemies or bosses who you can do a bit more to when you use the different elements involved. Okay, so we got those spikes down, but the spikes in the middle there seem to be still there. There we go. So, thankfully, double jumps and all that. It is nice to have that. Like, I know it's fairly standard in a lot of platforming games to have some form of double jump. But, like, I guess Mega Man was probably the best form of the double jump, or the best form of movement options, I should say. Okay, well, I guess we'll see what's over here, but as I said, I usually like to explore everything, so I don't want to go too far ahead. Oh, we got our friend here. I don't know if I have any food for you. Yeah, I don't have any right now, but it could be I need to go down that hole I opened up, I guess. So I'll go a little bit here just to see where I end up, but as I said, I may move to... Oh yeah, watch out for that guy. He's kind of annoying. Or just about any enemy that uses gas is always annoying. Ah, crap. Way too low. Yeah, I guess I don't really need the claws right now, so... But I think I'll probably head back after I heal up here and go down that hole. See if that takes me to where the Rotofruit is or any other treasures I haven't gotten yet. Because it really does pay to actually explore, and I really do appreciate when the game designers actually reward people for, you know, exploring these areas. I think that's part of the fun of a lot of RPGs, is going through different areas and finding this awesome loot or new stuff that you didn't have before. But I'll make sure to take care of all these enemies as well while I'm here, because I did require those few extra levels when I was fighting that boss before. So I'll make sure I get enough fighting in before I take him on. And I want to make sure I get all the SP I can handle. But yeah, it's you definitely see the dedication and like that the company Valcom kind of knows what they're doing for the most part. So you know, you at least feel confident that whatever work they do is of quality. Compared to other studios who... Come on, seriously? Great. Can I get him to come back here? Great. The only way I can see out of here is, of course, going back to the floor where I found the save point here. Which is kind of annoying, but there's not much you can do about it. And make sure I heal up at least. But yeah, I've never had that actually happen before. Being able to push an enemy across a barrier and, you know, him kind of just not responding. Ah, crap. There we go. Oh, there's the one down there now. So this area is a lot more difficult thanks to the buttons we press, but so it's kind of interesting. It's a bit of like a difficulty spike, or like if you die and, you know, but you've unlocked those buttons already, then it makes it even difficult while easier at the same time, funny enough. Just because then you don't have to go over to press the buttons, you just have to try and climb up and dodge the spikes. But it looks like I still have a while before I can unlock the that blessing that I was looking at, I believe. But I should, you know, hopefully, near the end of the game, I should be able to collect a lot more SP from some of the enemies. Okay, definitely need to go, or I need to make sure that when he does his downward strike there, I should jump to avoid the damage. So let's try this once more. I want to try and make sure I lead him over here so that problem I had doesn't happen again. There we go, finally. And I almost got another level, so that's always nice. There it is. So yeah, I was supposed to jump down here first before I went after the, or went the other way. And there's my level. But yeah, I'm not sure if I will grind for SP to try and get the, you know, last blessing. But I'll make sure I mention it to let you guys know, and you can see for yourself, you know, once I have the necessary SP. But for now, let's head over to the next area and give these fruit we just got so we can get some more Claria ore. Go. It would be nice if there was another item to help with the increase, or to get your more SP, really, because it is a lot to try and get in one playthrough, or in just with one character. There we go. Oh, actually, I got some battle armor. Nice. That's always good too. I think it's fine if you want to question, because it is a bit weird. But whatever, get gold armor imbued with magical fire, negate some attacks. So that's definitely one we'll want to increase as well. At some point, you know. But having the extra defense should of course help against some of these new enemies we're fighting here. And the extra levels apparently are helping too. I figured I should try using this a little bit just to deal with the plant guy. Looks like just hitting him with this is causing him to close up, which really helps actually. There we go. I'm not sure why the electric balls need to keep going though. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I should be going this way. There we go. So definitely the fire really does help against this guy. since that causes him to stop spraying. But yeah, so for the most part, in playing these games, I really do enjoy them, if that hasn't been stated quite enough. And I do hope, anyone who watches these videos, gives them a try for themselves and enjoys them as much as I have and becomes a new fan, because I do feel like this is one of the more looked over games of just a solid company. And because I do want the companies who do good work to, of course, continue on. It's sad to see kind of where EA has gone, since they've become, they feel more like a corporation than they do a game developer, which that seems kind of weird when you think about it, because a bit like, a studio can't exist without the business, but oh, here we go. So it looks like a door with a key that I'll need at some point. Was there any other paths around here? No, none that I could reach from here, at least. But yeah, it does feel like EA has kind of lost, like they seem to have done some good work here and there in trying to, get the good games out, but otherwise, they've, been more of a, they're better off as a publisher most of the time than as a developer, I think. And that they seem to at least can find some decent talent, but then they sometimes have a few restrictions that seem a bit like, under, like too strict in what they're kind of hoping for. There we go. Oh, we got a chest here. Because, at least from what I heard with the... Oh, cool, so we got the key we needed. But it doesn't seem like there's anything else around here. I am getting a bit low, so let me just sit here and heal a bit before I move on. But yeah, because I heard with Mass Effect Andromeda, in that, like, I think the main issue with that one was the deadline they had as well as the budget. Because by the sound of it, they didn't really have enough money to be able to actually do anything. Or to do as much as they were being asked for a series like Mass Effect. Because I would think a series like that, especially since it's an RPG that's heavy on story, would require quite a bit of funding, especially if you were to make it for newer systems. And then, of course, enough time. And I think they did have a good, decent amount of time, but they just didn't really have the money and support they really needed to make Mass Effect as good as people were hoping for when it first came out, instead of showing up with all the bugs and issues that it, ended up with in the beginning. I would be curious to play it, and hopefully, that whatever issues it had don't, hinder the experience too much. Because I really did enjoy Mass Effect, even if, okay, yeah, there's nothing over there. And here I am down here in the muck, or whatever you would call this. I'm not quite sure what kind of level I would call this as. Kind of looks like this would be their version of the underworld or something. Crap. That's definitely not a good idea. So definitely a good idea to change your weapons. And yeah, and so I'm hopeful that you know, BioWare, or no, it's Bethesda, right? No, it's BioWare. I'm trying to remember. I feel like BioWare and Bethesda are a bit similar, at least in their name, and in what sort of games they sort of do sometimes. So let's see, do I need to... I'm curious as to where I need to go. Okay, and let's not go that way yet. Because since I'm down here, I might as well make sure I explore everything. Okay, it looks like I kind of found what there is here. Yeah, I found the chest, which got me the topaz. So now my yellow move is upgraded, and now there are enemies that apparently I missed. But yeah, they're not too hard to deal with at my current level right now. But yeah, so hopefully they continue getting support they need from EA, and that they try not to constrain them or hinder them too much. Because you would hope in this day and age, with everything we've kind of learned when it comes to developing, you know, games in general or entertainment and kind of what they do, that we would know when we need to help and when we need to just let them do their thing. Because there are some games that could use a little help in, you know, need a push here or a firm hand there, but, you know, most of the time they can just work on their own and such like that, and then to give them the time that they would need to develop into a good game. Nintendo, for the most part, kind of knows what they need to do. Like, they've learned, you know, when things need time, when they need to come out, and, you know, when some things will work most of the time. They've had a few bad games here and there over their years, but like, their number of good games outweighs the bad, obviously. And that they're usually a fairly good publisher, in the sense that they allow whoever they're kind of asking to make the game for them is able to actually do it without them kind of stifling their creativity. You know, just look at Bayonetta. You know, thanks to Nintendo, Bayonetta exists as it does now and is actually doing pretty well, I think. And I'll be excited to see the third one when it finally comes out. So, am I getting close to another save point soon? I would think so, with where I am now. I might want to get one more level before I try and face off against the next boss. Which should... oh, that was weird. It should be coming up in not too long, I believe. Oh, we got those guys again, so... I'm making sure that I take him out this time. Or that they get taken out. Oh, how much does this guy need to take? There we go. Man, these things are annoying. And so are those hands, too. Thankfully, that guy healed me there, so I'm glad for that. I'm really glad that there are health drops in this game, because I don't see any other way I would survive without them. Like, this is a difficult game, but they at least do provide enough balance and a few ways to heal, so it's not overly punishing. But you do have to keep moving and strafing and moving around so you don't get, you know, taken out. Which is fine, because they kind of make the movement here fairly quick. So, let's see, am I gonna find a save point soon? Because I feel like I could use one. Oh, here we go. Darn it. Oh, good. Thanks to coming to this area, I'm able to... Oh, darn it. Didn't mean to fly like that, but whatever works. There we go. Just one more to go. And down he goes. There we go. Well, that's about all the time we have for today, folks. So join us next time as we continue exploring this new level. I guess it's kind of like an underworld / horror area or something. So, but pretty much join us next time as we continue our exploration of this level and see where we can find the Black Pearl, and our friend Rhea, I believe. So, until next time, have fun gaming.